All right, let's slow this down and really talk about what's going on in Cleveland. Because this isn't just another quarterback controversy. This is chaos disguised as competition, and it's happening right in front of our eyes. Tony Grossi just detonated a bomb on live television, and I'm not sure the Browns front office has even begun to grasp how big this is going to get. He didn't just criticize Dillon Gabriel, he called him a loser in this situation. Let me say that again. A veteran Browns insider, someone who's covered this franchise through decades of dysfunction, just went on air and said the starting quarterback is already losing before he's even lost his job. That's not a casual statement. That's an insider throwing gasoline on a locker room that's already smoldering. And the craziest part? He's not wrong. Let me walk you through what's actually happening behind those closed doors, because this goes way deeper than what people see in the headlines. Shedeur Sanders didn't just have a good practice, he took over practice. He picked apart the Browns' defense like a veteran. Quick reads, fast processing, anticipation. It's like everything has started to click at once. I've heard from people who were there, and the mood changed the moment he stepped onto the field. You could feel it. Players started paying attention. Coaches started whispering, and when Tony Grossi came out and said, "It's over," Shedeur looks like the real QB1. He was just putting words to what everyone in that facility already knows, but doesn't want to admit. Dillon Gabriel's grip on that job is slipping. Fast, let's build a totem pole together. Smash like, subscribe, and comment. If this video hits 1,000 likes, that means we're beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's make it happen. Now, let's talk about the locker room dynamic, because that's where this really gets interesting. You've got Jerry Jeudy, one of the most talented receivers on that roster, and he's out here talking about Shedeur's maturity, his preparation, his professionalism. Sounds like harmless praise, right? Wrong. That's locker room code for, this kid gets it. Players can tell in 5 minutes who's about business and who's just going through the motions. Then Myles Garrett, the face of the franchise. The captain, the guy who doesn't play favorites, comes out and says he sees Shedeur in the coach's office every morning before anyone else arrives. Think about that for a second. The defensive leader of your team is publicly praising the backup quarterback's dedication. That's not something you see every day. That's a message being sent loud and clear. We see who's really working. And Dillon Gabriel, man, I almost feel bad for the guy. Because he's not a bad quarterback. He's just in a no-win situation. He's playing under the shadow of a phenom, and no matter what he does, it won't be enough. He could throw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns in Pittsburgh this week, and it still wouldn't quiet the noise. Because the narrative's already set. Shedeur Sanders is the future. You know what else makes this story wild? The fan base. Cleveland fans are different. They live and breathe this team. They can sense momentum shifts before they happen. And right now, they're not just waiting for Shedeur Sanders. They're anticipating him. Tony Grossi even said it. We're going to hear chants for Shedeur as soon as Dillon throws an incompletion. And he's absolutely right. Picture this. Next week, when the Browns return home, Dillon drops back, misses a quick slant. The ball skips off the turf, and you just start hearing it ripple through the stadium. Shedeur! Shedeur! That's not just noise. That's psychological warfare. That's a quarterback playing with 70,000 people in his head, knowing one mistake could spark a riot. And I don't care how mentally tough you are, that wears on you. That's the kind of pressure that breaks even seasoned veterans. For a rookie trying to prove he belongs, that's a nightmare. Now let's take a step back and talk about how we got here. Dillon Gabriel was supposed to be the bridge, a stopgap, a steady hand, while the Browns figured out the next era of their franchise. But when they drafted Shedeur Sanders, everything changed. The moment he walked into that building, the energy shifted. Because Shedeur's not just another prospect. He's a brand, a presence, a phenomenon. He's been groomed for this moment since he was a kid. He's got his father's swagger, his composure, and his understanding of the game. You can tell he grew up in film rooms, not just football fields. This kid knows how to carry himself like a professional before he even takes his first NFL start. And that's what scares people, because he's not supposed to look this ready, this soon. Now let's talk about Kevin Stefanski for a second. The man looked like he saw a ghost when reporters brought up Shedeur. His answers? Robotic, political. We're focused on Pittsburgh. We like our quarterback room. You could tell he was trying not to step on a landmine, but it's too late. He's already standing in the blast radius. Because he knows if he even hints that Shedeur might be ready, the narrative explodes overnight. And honestly, I get it. If he names Shedeur as the official backup, it's over. The clock starts ticking. The countdown to the inevitable. Because once fans know Shedeur is one play away from taking the field, it's only a matter of time before they demand it. And the owner, Jimmy Haslam, he's not blind to any of this. He hears the noise. He sees the engagement, the jersey sales, the social media buzz. You think that doesn't matter? In this league, hype is leverage, and Shedeur Sanders brings both in abundance. The veterans in that locker room are smart enough to see it too. They've been around long enough to recognize when momentum shifts. And right now, that shift is unmistakable. The team's body language tells the story. Who do the guys gravitate toward? Who do they talk about? Who's staying late, watching tape, shaking hands with every coach in the hallway? It's all Shedeur. And now comes the test. Pittsburgh. Road game. Hostile environment. That defense lives for chaos. If Dillon Gabriel walks into that building and falters, 2 interceptions, a fumble, maybe even just a few shaky drives, it's over. You can feel it coming. Because once the dam breaks, there's no patching it up. And even if he plays well, let's be real, it might still not matter. Because you can't stop a wave once it starts building. And that wave is called Shedeur Sanders. This is bigger than a quarterback battle now. This is a cultural shift. You can feel it in the way fans talk, the way media covers it, the way players act in interviews. Everyone's leaning towards the same conclusion. The Browns have found their next guy, and he's sitting on the bench waiting for his moment. Jerry Jeudy even said it himself. Shedeur's been doing what he needs to do to take advantage of his opportunity once he gets it. You hear that? Once he gets it, not if. That tells you everything about the energy in that building. The players, the coaches, the staff, everyone feels it. Everyone knows this train is coming. It's not a matter of if Shedeur gets a shot. It's a matter of when. And look, the Browns didn't draft Shedeur Sanders in the second round to sit on the bench for the next 3 years. They didn't bring in Deion Sun just to hold a clipboard and look good in warm-ups. They drafted him because they believe, truly believe, that he can be that guy. The franchise quarterback. The face of the organization. The leader this team's been searching for. And every single day, with every rep, every film session, every late-night grind, Shedeur keeps proving them right. You can feel the momentum building. And I'll be honest with you, that puts Dillon Gabriel in an absolutely brutal spot. He's under more pressure than any young quarterback in the league right now. The fans are restless, the locker room's leaning one way, and the media, oh man, the media smells blood in the water. Kevin Stefanski's walking into pressers like a man trying to keep a grenade from going off. Because here's the truth. One bad game, one sloppy quarter, one moment where Dillon looks unsure, and it's over. The Shedeur Sanders era begins. And honestly, maybe that's not such a bad thing. Because if the kid gives you the best chance to win, if he's the one commanding the huddle and earning respect the hard way, then why fight it? Let him play. But here's where it gets deeper. And this is what people outside Cleveland don't get. This isn't just a quarterback competition. This is a culture shift. We're hearing praise from every corner of the locker room. Jerry Jeudy, Myles Garrett, even Tony Grossi's reporting on the energy Shedeur brings. That's not PR talk. That's real. These guys don't hand out compliments like candy. Veterans don't fake respect for rookies. You have to earn that. And Shedeur has. Myles Garrett dropped something that barely made headlines, but I caught it, and it says everything you need to know. He said, "Almost every morning when you walk into the building, you see Shedeur in the coach's office. Not once in a while, not when it's convenient, every morning. Breaking down film, studying schemes, preparing like he's the starter. That's not backup behavior, man. That's franchise behavior. He doesn't have to do that. He's not taking first-team reps every day. But that's how Deion raised him. To earn everything before it's handed to you. To prepare like your moment could come tomorrow. That's prime mentality. You don't wait to be ready. You stay ready. And that's what Cleveland is seeing right now. That's why veterans like Jerry Jeudy talk about him the way they do. That's why the whispers around Berea are turning into full-blown conversations. The team knows this kid isn't here for hype. He's here for legacy. Now, let's circle back to Dillon Gabriel, because this part gets rough. Every time someone praises Shedeur's work ethic, it's like an unintentional shot fired at Dillon. When Miles talks about preparation, when Jerry talks about leadership, that's raising the standard. That's saying, hey, this is what a real franchise quarterback looks like. And Dillon's left trying to keep up with a ghost. The idea of what Shedeur could be. He's trapped in an impossible situation. He's got to be flawless just to survive. Every incompletion is going to feel like a nail in the coffin. Every stalled drive, every missed read, those chants are going to start building. We want Shedeur. You'll hear it from the dog pound. You'll hear it from the bleachers. You'll hear it in your bones. And here's where I'll defend Shedeur for a second, because some people are saying this is all hype, that he's only getting attention because of his last name. Nah, man, that's lazy. Yeah, being Dayan's son got him in the door. But staying there, earning the trust of veterans like Myles Garrett, that's not about name value. That's about substance. Shedeur's not trying to steal the spotlight. He's not politicking for the job. He's not creating drama. He's just showing up every single day with that same fire, that same focus. That's what real leaders do. They don't talk, they prove it. So here's where we're headed. If Dillon Gabriel balls out in Pittsburgh this week, maybe he buys himself another game, maybe 2. But if he struggles? If that offense stalls when they come home to Cleveland, the crowd's going to turn, man. The locker room's already leaning that way. Stefanski won't have a choice. The front office won't have a choice. And when Shedeur finally steps on that field, the NFL is going to see what Cleveland's been seeing all along. That this kid's got it. The talent, the discipline, the leadership, the it factor that can't be coached. So let me throw this to you. Do you think Dillon Gabriel can silence the noise? Or is this the beginning of the Shedeur Sanders era in Cleveland? Drop your thoughts down below, because I'm telling you right now, this story is only getting started. And if you thought the drama was thick now, just wait until that team walks into their home stadium next week. Every snap Dillon takes, every read, every pass, the fans are going to be holding their breath. And Shedeur? He's right there, watching, waiting, preparing. The clock's ticking, man. And when that moment finally comes, when Shedeur Sanders gets his shot, the whole league's going to find out what Cleveland already knows. This kid is special.